the people of Palestine, both in the West Bank, in Gaza, in the East Jerusalem, and all around the world. We stand here saying that Israel's war crimes and Israel's atrocities are not to be accepted, that we oppose them, and we say, not in our name, not ever, and we stand in solidarity with the Palestinian people in their struggle for human rights, justice, and self-determination.
The numbers of the dead continues to rise, and there's no place that is safe. This is not as Israel would like the world to believe, self-defense. The argument of self-defense doesn't stand in international law. When you are defending yourself against the people you occupy illegally and have occupied for decades, when you have deprived these people their basic human rights, you cannot use the argument of self-defense. Those who adore the both sides mantra, and we've been hearing a bit of that in the news, they need to look at the numbers of the fatalities, look at the damages caused by both sides, and tell me, how are both sides suffering? It is clear that the Palestinians are suffering. They are being massacred. One side only is being ethnically cleansed, occupied, besieged, and only one side is having their entire city subjected to hundreds of one-ton bombs. When people say both sides need to lay down their weapons, they need to understand that when this happens, Israel will remain an occupier, and the Palestinians will remain an occupied, besieged, and oppressed people. Resolving the conflict requires a lot more than empty slogans that only aim to maintain the status quo. Peace is not the absence of violence. It is the prevalence of justice, freedom, and equality for all.
It's not just enough to lay down weapons. We need Israel to stop its bombing of Gaza, but we need more than that. We need the blockade of Gaza to be lifted. We need total freedom of movement throughout all the Palestinian areas, all of the occupied territories. We need the removal of the occupation, the removal of the settlements. We need everybody who lives in Palestine to have equal rights. We need to end the system of apartheid that exists in Palestine.
And one of the stupidest myths is that opposing Israel or opposing Zionism is somehow anti-Semitic, that it's somehow anti-Jewish. Now this is absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense. What we are in fact opposing is apartheid, racism, and genocide. That is what we are opposing when we say we stand with the Palestinians. The state of Israel is an apartheid state. That huge wall that they've built through the West Bank, all of the checkpoints, the permanent ones, the ones that pop up all over the West Bank, all of this are signs, along with the roads built only for Jewish settlers, all of this show that this is an apartheid regime. And it is not at all anti-Semitic to oppose this regime and to support the Palestinians. This should be obvious. If people said, oh, you support the people of East Timor when they were being occupied by Indonesia, you must be anti-Indonesian, you would think that there is something wrong with this person.
My parents have taught me that hope can be the strongest weapon against Israel because it means we are alive. They can kill and demolish our homes, but they cannot and will not ever defeat our spirit. The people of Gaza have proven that the oppressors are weak against strong faith and belief in justice. They can scare us, and they can threaten us, and they can make us feel desperate. But the people of Gaza are far from desperate. They are standing strong under the raids. We don't know for how much longer Israel will keep hassling and intimidating the Palestinian people. But what I do know is that I'm 13, and I believe without a doubt that Palestine will